Splatoon 2 came out in July 2017. It is nearly 2 years old now. Is it worth buying it in 2019? Hopefully this video will answer your question. I'm sure people in the comment section will offer you some advice as well. But let's just get on with this video. Now, if you are watching this video before the end of March, there is a Splatoon 2 demo. It is a free demo that will be going live on the eShop, where you can experience Turf War, ranked battles and Salmon Run for free for 1 week between the 26th of March and the 1st of April. If you are watching this video before that demo has gone live, then I really would recommend you downloading that demo, because it will give you a good taste of what the full game has to offer. It will basically tell you whether you are a fan of the gameplay, whether you are on board with the mechanics. It will help you to make your decision. So I would definitely recommend you playing in that demo. Now, the one thing to mention about that demo is that it is only available in Japan at this moment in time, but there is nothing stopping you from making a Japanese Switch account, going on the Japanese eShop and downloading that demo. Hopefully it will get confirmed for the West, but at the moment it has only been announced for people in Japan. But you can go download that demo, take part in that demo. The demo shouldn't put you with Japanese players, just because the demo will match you with players from the full game, and the player base for the full game, it is still really active. You can easily go into a Salmon Run, play in all of the game modes that are available online. The player base is still really active, so even if you are thinking about picking up the game in 2019, even though the game is nearly 2 years old at this point, you should still be able to get into a match really easily. But yeah, my main advice, if you are watching this video before the end of March, is download that demo and play in that demo. It will give you a really good idea on what this game is about. Now, in terms of the support for the game, even though the game is 2 years old, the game is still getting updates, but updates are due to end really soon. We only know about 2 updates coming to the game. One is Sheldon Picks, where it will be bringing 10 weapons from the original Splatoon game. There is also another update coming to the game, but we don't know anything about what that update will be bringing to the game. But pretty much every single month we have a in-game event called Splatfest, where pretty much you have a choice of 2 teams. Basically, the topics change with every single Splatfest. You fight for that team for pretty much 24 hours, unless there is a special Splatfest event, which I will go into in a few minutes time. You play on Turf War for the duration of a Splatfest, but Salmon Run is also available as well. What is cool about Splatfest is that it is set at night. Pretty much Inkopolis Square is turned into a festival-like atmosphere, with Off the Hook, the main pop idols for Splatoon 2, performing a concert on the main stage. All of the stages are set at night. What is also really cool about Splatfest is that Nintendo, they create a brand new stage for every single Splatfest. So pretty much with every single Splatfest, there is a brand new stage for us to play on. There's also a unique ranking up system, which determines how many Super Sea Snails you do get when that Splatfest does end. Super Sea Snails can be used in the game to give you extra ability slots for your gear. Also, they can be used to re-roll your gear abilities on your gear. Now, sometimes we have special Splatfest, where Splatfests go on for 48 hours instead of the normal 24 hours. They are normally set to a particular theme. We have had Halloween and Christmas themed special Splatfest, where pretty much it changes the whole look of Inkopolis. We get different in-game graffiti representing that theme. in all of the stages. Sometimes we get different coloured special ink as well. Now apparently we will be getting one more of those special Splatfest before Splatfest do end in July 2019. So if you are thinking about picking up Splatoon 2, I would definitely recommend you to pick up the game before Splatfest do end in July 2019. Splatfests are a massive part of the game. It would be a shame if you did miss out on Splatfest. Because Splatfest will be ending, I expect an update after July 2019 where we will be getting all of the Shifty Station stages on all of the Splatfest that we have had over the last 2 years. I think they will be available outside of the Splatfest, so maybe there will be even more support for the game outside of the 2 updates I did talk about earlier. Now, is the game value for money? Just because even though the game did come out nearly 2 years ago now, it is still nearly full price. It has barely dropped in price over the past couple of years. Now what you do get with your money is just the single player only, so you are only getting the single player, which is only about 6 or 7 hours at the most, maybe 8 hours. You don't have access to the online multiplayer, so you don't have access to Turf War, which is the main game mode for Splatoon 2 online. You don't have access to all of the ranked battle game modes like Tower Control, Rainmaker, Clan Blitz and Splat Zones. You also don't have access to Salmon Run as well. You do need an online service membership. You would need to pick up an online Switch service membership to be able to play in Splatfest as well as all of the online modes. So you have to take that into account when you do pick up or think about picking up Splatoon 2. There is a single player DLC available as well, but again, this will come at an extra charge. It costs around about $20. So the main game itself, I would say it isn't worth $60, but the online multiplayer, it is really fun. I have put in around about 550 hours into the online multiplayer. The Octo Expansion DLC is also really fun, but I wouldn't really start out at that. I would basically start out on the single player, play a little bit of the online multiplayer as well before you do think about picking up the Octo Expansion DLC, just because the DLC, it is a lot harder than the single player. But you have to take into account that if you want to experience everything that Splatoon 2 has to offer, then you will need to spend at least about $100, just because $60 for the main game, maybe you will be able to pick it up for a little bit cheaper than that. But if you want to play Splatoon 2 online, of course there are different membership options available. There is a 1 month membership available, 3 months or a year. If you go with the year option, it will cost you $20. That is the same price for the Octo Expansion DLC as well. I do believe that is the same price for euros as well. In terms of pounds for UK people watching this video, it will cost you around about £80, just because £45 for the main game, £20 for the online membership, then another £20 for the DLC. So yeah, it is a little bit expensive. When I bought the game for £45, I pretty much had access to single player and all of the online modes, such as the modes I did list, Salmon Run, Splatfest. So it was a better deal back in 2017. That is one thing I would say about Splatoon 2. The single player isn't worth the base entry price, but even though I did pick up the game in 2017 for the same price that you would probably pick up the game in 2019, even though I had access to all of those online modes, I lost access to those game modes when the online service did launch in September 2018. So I had to pay $20, £18, the same in euros, to carry on playing something I experienced for free. So yeah, that is the one negative thing I would say about Splatoon 2. I would say that the game that you have to pay the price for, you only get the single player. That is pretty much it. You do get local multiplayer options, but to be able to experience them, other people around you would need a Switch and a copy of the game. There is no split screen Splatoon 2 sort of gameplay there, unfortunately. Not like what we had in Splatoon 1. To experience split screen, you would need to have two systems with two copies of the game. So yeah, I just don't think the base price that you would have to pay for is worth, you know, the single player. It's just not worth it at all. But if you are going to pick up Splatoon 2, you would have to go the whole hog and get everything. So you would have to get the base game, an online service membership to experience all of the online modes and Salmon Run. You could possibly get away with not picking up Octo Expansion DLC for the moment. Or what you would need to pick up to start off with is the base game and an online service membership, just because most of the game is online, so you would need to pick up an online service membership. Unfortunately, that is the one negative I have to say about Splatoon 2. But on the flip side, this game is really fun to play. For me, it is one of the best Switch games. It is certainly one of the best, if not the best, shooter on the Switch. Seriously, it's just such a fun game to play. But you can't escape the fact that to experience everything that this game has to offer, it will be really expensive. So is it worth picking up Splatoon 2 in 2019? I would say yes, if you can afford it. I would say pick it up before Splatfest do end in July 2019. There's so much stuff to experience in terms of the multiplayer. We've got so many stages in the game, so many weapons, so many new special weapons we got recently as well. So yeah, there's just so much to experience with this game. I can't really recommend this game highly enough if you can afford it. It's just the price. That's the one thing that certainly goes against Splatoon 2. But yeah, I would say it is worth picking up the game in 2019. You certainly will not get any problems getting into any lobbies. So yeah, that is what I would recommend. So yeah, that is it for this video. Hopefully you have found it useful, and I will see you in my next video soon, hopefully.